Hello. In some cases, a job order needs to be sent to a third party for additional processing. Um, in this video, we will be reviewing how to create an outside service order and track it within the system. For this video, we'll be using job number 1557, which has a quantity of 12 parts. The first step is to go to the purchase order module and click on Enter New Purchase Order. You would then select the vendor as normal. In this video, we are assuming that the vendor already exists in the system. However, if the vendor has not been entered yet, you can go ahead and follow our regular instructions for entering a vendor. In this case, I am going to be using the vendor Metro Finishing. Once the vendor has been selected, the next step is to enter in the job information. This can be done by going to the job number column and either manually typing in the job number or clicking on the button to look up the appropriate job number. Note that if your process includes the outside service step, you can specify the appropriate op number here in the purchase order. Once the job information has been loaded, we can see that the item number, vendor part number, and description have all been filled in from the job. In this case, if the vendor part number needs to be changed, you can certainly override it either with the appropriate part number that the vendor is expecting or the vendor's finishing process that they are going to be performing on the part. In this case, I'm going to leave it alone. We are sending all 12 parts out, so we'll enter in, and then we have to enter in the finishing price. Once the PO has been entered, we can save it as normal. Once the PO has been created, you can print out the purchase order and provide it to your vendor along with the parts. Once the purchase order has been created, within the job order edit screen, we can review the purchase history. So to do this, we'd go to the OS Hist tab, which stands for Outside Service History. Here, we can see the purchase order number listed, along with the vendor, the PO date, and the quantity. After the vendor has finished processing the parts and returned them to your facility, you can receive the purchase order normally. To do this, you'd go to the purchase order module and click on Receive Purchase Orders. Here, you would select your open purchase order and you'd enter in the quantity of parts received as normal. After the purchase order has been received, we can go back to the job order and go to the Outside Service History tab to review the receiving history. So here we can see that the PO was received. It has the receive date, the received quantity, and also indicates that the PO has been completed. So this Outside Service History tab serves as a record of both what was shipped to the vendor as well as what was received from the vendor for this job order. After the outside service has been completed, then any additional in-house finishing can be completed and the job can be shipped to the customer as normal. Thank you.